guys, and welcome back to Toon Duelists. Today we want to show you an updated deck profile about the Gate Guardians. We already made a profile about a pure deck with only the Gate Guardian support cards. And yeah, today we want to show you the deck as a 60 card pile deck in combination with the Horus engine because they already got a reprint at the Chronicles deck Spirit Jammers a few months ago, so they aren't that expensive. So I think perfect for playing a fun or rogue deck. Yeah, that's why we made a build-in combination with the Horus engine. And yeah, let's see how it works, how we built this deck, and yeah, let's dive direct into it. Let's go. So we start with our main deck with the Gate Guardian cards. We play each part of the Gate Guardian once. Then we play our most important card, our field spell, the Labyrinth Wall Shadow, because with this card we can send one copy of one of our parts from our hand deck or that is banished face up in our spell and trap zone and as a continuous spell. This is important later for our fusion summons, so very important here. Then we play 3 copies of the Labyrinth Heavy Tank. He can be normal summoned without tributing, but can't attack this turn. And if you do this, you can place one of your Sangha, Kazushin or Suijin that is banished or in your hand or deck face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. So the same effect than our Labyrinth Wall Shadow, so also very important. That's why we play, of course, 3 copies. Then we move on with our Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth. He's a searcher for our field spell because we can discard this card and add 1 Labyrinth Wall card from our deck to our hand. Also very important here. Then we play 3 more spell cards. First is our double attack, Wind and Thunder, 1 Riryoku Guardian and 1 Dark Element. Each of these 3 spell cards have the same effect. You can banish them from the grave and add 1 of the 3 parts that is banished or in our deck to our hand. So also important searchers for our Gate Guardian cards. Then last but not least, we play 1 more monster. It's the Dark Guardian. He can be special summoned with the Dark Element, because when we have 1 Gate Guardian in our grave, we can pay half of our life points and special summon 1 level 11 or higher Gate Guardian from hand, deck or extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. And he is a perfect target, because if he is summoned this way, he is unaffected by other monsters, effects or your opponent's activated spell cards or effects. So a very good protection, but you could also special summon 1 of our fusion parts from our extra deck that you will see later. And yes, that's it with our Gate Guardian cards. We move on to our Horus engine. So this time we start with the spell cards. We play 3 field spells, Walls of the Imperial Tomb, and also 3 copies of King's Sarcophagus. With the walls we can add 1 Horus monster from our deck to our hand and is also named as a King's Sarcophagus while on the field zone. And that's important because all Horus monster has the effect that when they're in the grave and there's 1 King's Sarcophagus card on the field, we can special summon them. Then we move on to the monsters. We play 3 kind of Imsity, Glory of Horus, because he is also a searcher for this one, so very important for the consistency. And then we play one copy of each other Horus monsters. Yeah, then we move on to some extenders. So we play 3 copies of Magician's Soul, because with this guy we can send one level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from our deck to the grave to special summon him. So we can do this with our Kazishin, because he is also a spellcaster monster. And for our boss monster, the Gate Guardians combined, it's this guy here, we can also banish from our graveyard. So that's an easy way to get one of our 3 parts from the Gate Guardian on the grave. And he has the effect that you can send up 2 spells or traps from your hand and or field to the grave. It's in this deck really strong, I think, because with the Labyrinth Wall Shadow we can put one of the 3 parts in our spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, so we also can send these guys from the field to the grave and get some draw power. So very good here. And then we also play 3 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Here's a searcher for this guy. That's the only reason why we play this guy. And also 1 prep for searching him. So then we have a small Crystal Beast engine here with this 3 cards. The Rainbow Pitch of Salvation and 1 Cobalt Eagle. The reason we play this here is because when the Rainbow Bridge is in the grave, you can banish the card and search 1 Crystal Beast and 1 field spell from our deck. I decided me for the Cobalt Eagle because his effect is that he can target 1 Crystal Beast you control and place it on top of the deck. So you can target him with his own effect, send him back to the deck, and can reuse this guy. So that's why I choose him. And some of you guys may ask, okay, but how do you get this guy to the grave when you even can play him? And I think it's here very easy because of this card, of the King Sarcophagus. Because if you draw the Rainbow Bridge, you can send 1 card from your hand to the deck and send also 1 Horus monster from your deck to the grave. So you can send this guy and 1 Horus monster to the grave, special summon the Horus monster, and this effect triggers. Yeah, then we move on with some generic cards. So we play 1 Terraforming, because we have 2 different kind of field spells, so very important here. Then of course you have to play that Grass looks greener in a 60 card deck. Then we play 1 Called by the Grave. Then we play 3 copies of Fuva, 3 copies of Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Thrust. So that's it with the main deck. We move on with the extra deck by starting with the Gate Guardian fusion monsters. So we start with our Gate Guardian boss monster, the Gate Guardians combined. To summon this guy, we have to banish all 3 parts of the Gate Guardian from our hand, field and or grave. He has a quick effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, you can negate that effect and destroy the card, and you can use this effect 3 times per turn. So very strong. And if this guy leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 level 11 or lower Gate Guardian monster from your deck or extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. With this effect you can search, by example, this guy, the Gate Guardian of Wind and Water, or you can special summon this guy by banishing Kazishin and Suishin from the field, but only from the field. And I think that's the reason why the Gate Guardian deck is not that strong. So I think they should have the same effect like the Gate Guardians combined by banishing also from the grave. But it is what it is, we have to handle with it. But yeah, if the Gate Guardians combined leaves the field, he came up, or he can came up, and he has a spell, or not one, he has 2 spell and trap negates as a quick effect, so also very strong. And if he leaves the field, you can special summon one of these 2 guys that is vanished. But we have some more fusion monsters which you can choose. We have this guy, the Gate Guardian of Water and Thunder. He also has a quick effect which you can use twice per turn. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and change its ATK to 0 until the end of this turn. Could also be very strong, but it depends on the situation. So yeah, could be strong, but I think spell or trap negate is mostly more important. Then we have one more, the Gate Guardian of Thunder and Wind. For this guy we use Sangha of the Thunder in Kazakhstan. He let us add a spell or trap card from our deck to our hand that mentions the 3 parts of the Gate Guardian. So by example, if he leaves the field by your opponent's card, you can special summon this guy, use the effect in your main phase while searching Dark Element, and with Dark Element you can pay half your life points and special summon the Dark Guardian. Yeah, that's it with our Gate Guardian fusion monsters. We move on with some Xyz monsters. Because we spam with our Horus engine the level 8 monsters, we play of course some rank 8 monsters. We start with the number 19, the Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. When an opponent's monster activates its effect, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card and negate that monster's effect. So very good opinion, one monster negate. Then we can do the same but with a spell card or effect with the number 38. So you can negate as a quick effect and attach that card as a material to this card. Then for some draw power we play the Coach King Giant Trainer. For this guy you need 3 level 8 monsters instead of 2 like the other 2 guys. And here you can detach one material and draw 1 card and inflict 800 damage to your opponent. You can use this effect thrice per turn. So draw 3 cards, very good. But you cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. Then we play 1 Zombie Vampire. So you can detach 1 material from this card and each player sends the top 4 cards from their deck to the grave. And if any monsters were sent to either graveyard, you can special summon one of those monsters to your side of the field. So we have here monster negate, spell negate, draw power and foolish. And then we play 1 more Xyz monster, it is Typhoon. And then we play some Link monsters. So we start with the Relinquished Anima. With this guy we can use the Magician's Soul as link material, and then we can target 1 face-up monster discard points to and equip that face-up monster to discard, and this card gains ATK equal to that equipped monsters. I think, as I tried a few hands, and for going second I think is this good opinion. But you also could change it for like Nightmare Phoenix or something like that. The test duels I tried, it wrecked so a few times, so that's why I decided me for this guy. Then we play 1 IP and 1 SP. And last but not least, 1 Lackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. That's it with the profile. I hope you liked and enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe and a comment. Let us know what you think about this profile, And yes, see you next time. Bye bye.